Hi, I am Dr. Selvaraj, your surgical educator from Malaysia. Welcome back to my series of surgical teaching videocasts. These are meant mainly for undergraduate medical students doing their surgical clerkship rotation. I promise you will become competent in clinical problem solving and surgical decision making if you are going to watch these videos over and over again. Today in this episode, I am going to talk about stoma care, or these stomas are also known as ostomies. So it is ostomy care. So in this episode, I am not going to discuss about the operative surgery or how to make this stoma. I am going to talk only about how to take care of these stomas. That is what I am going to talk in this episode. So after watching this video, all of you should be able to understand what is the definition and types of stoma, the preparation and counseling of patients for stoma, post-op care of the stoma, complications, the stoma appliances, and the general care and advice. All these things you must understand after watching this video. So stoma, what is it? Stoma is a surgically created opening in the body between the skin and the hollow viscus. The stoma means in Greek it is mouth. It means mouth. The abdominal stomas are mainly used to divert fecal matter or urine out of the body where it can be collected in a bag at the skin level. So there are mainly three common types of stomas. They are colostomy, ileostomy, and urostomy. So all these ostomies are created because of for treatment for carcinoma or in trauma or some sepsis or after some surgery. So here you are seeing stoma is broadly it is gastrointestinal stomas and genitourinary stomas. Of course, the commonest is gastrointestinal stomas. It may be used for feeding purpose or excretory. Majority of stomas we are using only for excretory purpose. So feeding stomas examples are the feeding gastrostomy and feeding jejunostomy. Nowadays, the feeding gastrostomy we are doing percutaneous endoscopic gastrostomy or PEG. Whereas the excretory, the stomas are can be created in small bowel or large bowel. If you are creating it in the small bowel, that is ileostomy. If you are creating it in the large bowel, that's called colostomy. So both ileostomy and colostomy, there are two types surgical, techniques. You can do either terminal ileostomy or terminal colostomy, or you can do loop ileostomy and loop colostomy. Among all the four, the loop colostomy, almost we are not doing it in the adult, only in pediatric patients, that is anorectal malformation. Still we are doing the loop colostomy. Okay, coming to the genitourinary colostomies, okay, it could be from the kidney, it is nephrostomy. If you are making opening to the ureter, ureterostomy. If you are opening the bladder to the exterior, that is cystostomy or vesicostomy. Or if you are using a conduit after removing the bladder, urinary bladder for bladder cancer, you have to implant both the ureter in a segment of ileum, and this is called ileal conduit. So what are the different types of stomas? I told you the feeding types are either gastrostomy or feeding jejunostomy. Nowadays, the gastrostomy we are doing the PEG. The two main indications are of the PEG tube placement are either for enteral feeding or for purpose of stomach decompression. Distal enteral obstruction, severe uncorrectable coagulopathy, and hemodynamic instability are the contraindications for doing a peg gastrostomy. This is the diagrammatic picture. Here you are seeing actual post-op patient. This is a gastrostomy patient, peg gastrostomy. Whereas the jejunostomy is used as an additional surgical procedure following major operations when oral feeding is likely to be delayed for a very long period of time. Example, okay, you are doing gastrectomy, total gastrectomy, radical total gastrectomy for carcinoma of the stomach, where the feeding will be delayed. So in that case, okay, you can do a feeding jejunostomy also. Okay. The next type is the ileostomies. Okay, ileostomy. Okay, the ileum is brought out and fixed to the skin of abdominal wall to drain semi-liquid fecal matter, usually on the right lower abdomen, here in the right iliac fossa. Here, this also, okay, this is a loop ileostomy. This is what you are seeing here. You will take out where a loop of ileum is brought out and only the anterior wall of the ileum is open. The posterior wall is intact, and it is usually a temporary procedure. And you have to put a tube bridge. Yeah, this is the bridge you have to put. So this is the posterior wall is still intact. Whereas in end ileostomy, okay, the end of the ileum is brought out when the colon and rectum may be removed already or need to be rested to heal. You have done already an anterior resection. You want to, avoid the fecal matter going and infecting the anastomosis. In that case, you can do this diverting ileostomy. So the next type is, of course, the colostomy. This is colon and different levels can be brought out to the skin. Usually we do either sigmoid colostomy or transverse colostomy because all other parts of the colon are retroperitoneal organ. Only the sigmoid and transverse are intraperitoneal, and that is why usually we do colostomy in sigmoid colon or in the transverse colon. Okay, so to divert the fecal matter. Majority of them are end colostomy only. Loop colostomy is done for babies with anorectal malformation. Yeah, here you are seeing a loop colostomy, whereas this is a end colostomy, but this is not Hartmann's because the mucus fistula, they have brought it out. Usually if you close this and if you keep it intraperitoneal, then only it is Hartmann's procedure. Okay, the temporary end colostomy is Hartmann's procedure. Here this is not Hartmann's because in Hartmann's they close this mucus fistula, the distal end, and they keep it inside the peritoneal cavity. Okay, the permanent end colostomy usually we do after AP resection for CA rectum. So the another type is of course the urostomy. If you are doing a connection to the kidney, placement of a small flexible rubber tube through the skin into the kidneys, that is nephrostomy. Okay, if you are doing the same thing but you are now doing it to the renal pelvis to drain the urine, it is called percutaneous pylostomy, and this is percutaneous nephrostomy. And if you are bringing the ureters out, that is called ureterostomy. So the vesicostomy is surgical creation of a stoma between the anterior bladder wall and the skin of the lower abdomen. That is vesicostomy. Whereas the ileal conduit, this is a system of urinary drainage which a surgeon creates using the ileum after removing the bladder for bladder carcinoma. So here you are seeing this is the bag, you can see it, urine is draining there. Okay, this is the ileal conduit. You have to create a segment of ileum that you have to separate, and then you have to implant both the ureters because you have already removed the urinary bladder for bladder cancer. So you have done a radical total cystectomy. Now these two ureters will be dangling. So these ureters you have to implant into the ileal segment, and then this ileum will be coming out. This is what you are seeing here. So both the ureters, they have, they put a tube inside that ureter also. That is what you are seeing here. So this is the ileal conduit. So what is the preparation and counseling of patients for stoma? Patients should be explained about the procedure and the patient should be convinced and consoled about the stoma. Detailed meaning, explanation and aftercare of the stoma should be discussed with all these patients. Indication for the stoma and consent for the same should be obtained. A written consent you have to take. Reassurance about the stoma, its care and its position should be diagrammatically explained to the patient and to his or her close relative also. So you have to draw where you are going to, create the stoma, that you have to draw it and you have to explain to the patient. Proper bowel preparation by bowel wash, gut irrigation is required before surgery. Stoma is usually sited midway between the anterior suprailiac spine and the umbilicus. It should be away from the belt line, scar, creases or any bony points. Proper stoma appliances should be decided after thorough checkup and discussion with the patients and the patient's relative. Stoma site should be marked properly even before the surgery. Ileostomy is usually sited in the right iliac fossa, whereas the colostomy is in the left iliac fossa. The patient should consult a stoma therapist. So this is selecting the optimal stomal site. So what you have to do, you have to decide whether the patient is able to look, whether the patient is able to see the stoma. That is very important. Here in this obese patient, the patient cannot see, below this line. So you have to avoid this portion of the abdomen because patient may not be able to see the stoma. And then you have to avoid all these creases. Ask the patient to sit down on a stool or a chair. Look for these skin creases. So you have to avoid all these skin creases. And it is better you have to select the stoma site below the costa margin and in the area of the rectus abdomini. Here you have to select. So you have to mark here. If it is either, you can mark it on the right side if it is for ileostomy, and you can mark it on the left side if it is a colostomy. So this is what you have to do. You have to mark it, and this is what you are seeing here. So you are marking it with an indelible ink over the patient's skin. It is better. And you have to explain all these things to the patient and to the patient's close relative also. So what is the post-op care for this stoma? Stitches can be removed in 6 to 10 days time. Dressing should be done first over the stoma, and after placement of the appliance, laparotomy wound is dressed. Otherwise, the stoma appliance will not sit properly. So you have to dress the stoma first, and then the laparotomy wound should be dressed. Patient should be observed for any complications. Patient should be taught about the stoma care and how to apply these appliances, stoma appliances. Once wound has healed, patient can take bath by removing the appliances. After bath, the skin should be dried up, and then only they have to apply these stoma appliances. Care and prevention of skin excoriation due to leak is also you have to look into. The skin should be absolutely dry prior to placement of these stoma appliances. Psychotherapy should be given for all these patients. So what are the complications? Okay, the patient can go for skin excoriation. This is more common in ileostomy than in colostomy because the fecal matter here is liquid. So you are seeing skin excoriation, even this skin is lost already. You are seeing an ulcer there. Oh, this is mucosal prolapse, or the whole, this is a prolapse. This is also a prolapse, and this is also a prolapse. Sometimes there may be infection, either bacterial or candidial. You are seeing folliculitis around the this stoma. You can see the follicles here, hair follicle. Yeah, infection of the hair follicle around this stoma, and that is a bacterial infection. Patient sometimes may go for even diarrhea because of irritation. Leak due to improper fitting of the appliances, and scar and irregularity of the stoma and prolapse are some of the complications. you have to, you have to take care of. And other complications are mucocutaneous separation. Here you can see very well the stitches have come out. There is no, this is the mucosa or the intestine is separated from the skin. So it is not, joined together. There is a gap in between the skin and the mucosa. This is what is called mucocutaneous separation. Sometimes this stoma can get retracted inside, and it can also go for stenosis or block. This is what you are seeing here. This is a classical example for retraction of the stoma. Sometimes they may be bleeding from the stomal side. This is what you are seeing, a blood clot you are seeing here and here also. And very rarely, okay, you can see parastomal hernia also. If you are not, fixing the intestine properly to the fascia, then okay, this complication can happen. This is parastomal hernia. What are stomal appliances? Stomal appliances are devices which are used to collect and dispose the effluent materials which come out of these stomas. The ideal stoma appliance should be leak proof. It should not damage the stoma and the surrounding skin. It should prevent the odor. It should be easily available, and it should be easier to use. So what are the different types of these stomas? One is the closed type. Here you are seeing, see, it is closed type, especially if the effluent is a solid one. Especially for colostomies, you can use this bag. Okay, this is closed type of the bag. Whereas the drainable type, here the second picture here, you are seeing it is drainable type. This you can use for ileostomies where the effluent will be semi-liquid, or for all urostomies, you have to use this drainable type of the bag. And another thing is either these appliances can be a one-piece system where here the adherent, this material, where the appliances as a bag with adhesive system attached which adheres to the skin around the stoma. This is a bag with the adhesive material is also here. So you have to just stick this part to the around the stoma, and that's it. This is single piece, stoma appliance. Whereas the double piece here, yeah, this is the sticky part is here. This is the drainage bag. So this you have to apply. This is a two-piece appliance. It has got a flange. This is the flange, and with adhesive system and a bag over it, which can be removed and replaced with a new one without disturbing the flange underneath. So this will be there. Only you have to change only the bag. This flange will be there sticking to the patient's body. So bag can be either, this can be a transparent one or it could be a opaque one. So these are different methods. I told you this is the single piece system. So solid skin barrier, and you are seeing this you can cut according to the size of your stoma. You can enlarge this circle also. So this is, then this part is the water resistant adhesive. This is the one, and this is the pouch. So this drainage thing you can use either for ileostomy or for urostomy. So this is the two bag system. This is the flange. This will stick to the patient's body. This bag you can change either daily or even 2 or 3 times a day. You can change it. But this flange will be sticking to the patient's body for even for 4 or 5 days. So this is the flange. This can be a circular type, rectangular type, or even oval type. So these bags are drainable type. This is a drainable type. Okay, this is for colostomy, and these two bags are for urostomies. So these flanges you have to apply over the stoma. This is what you are seeing here. This is the sticky part. Okay, this sticky part you have to stick to the patient's skin, and then this part you can, according to the size of the stoma, you can just cut this one. That is what you have to stick it according to the size of your stoma. So after sticking this flange to the patient's body, okay, you can apply this bag here. So after applying, this is what you are seeing here. This is the final thing. This is a two-piece system. Yeah, this one. Two-piece system you are seeing here. This is the final result. Okay, this should be, before applying the patient's skin, everything should be dry. Then only you have to apply. So what is the general care you have to, advise to the patient? Patient can have normal diet which regulates the bowel action. Plenty of water is advisable. Patient can go for normal work. Exercise like sports, swimming, tennis can be done. Stoma appliances suitable for these, the activities are available. Antidepressants and anticholinergics you have to avoid because these drugs can cause constipation. Patient can have normal sexual activity. Shouldn't use any irritant solution near the stoma that may lead to dangerous complication. Patient should have additional stoma bags in hand so as they can use it if there is an urgent need. Patient should be aware of different appliances available and should be well versed with its use. He can take the help of the stoma society or a stoma nurse. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you think that these videos are very useful, kindly subscribe to this channel and share these videos in your social media. Thank you once again for watching this video. Let us meet in yet another video. Until then, bye bye.